In this video, I'm going to share with you 10 things you need to know in 2022 before you move to Jacksonville, Florida. Number one is the scammers. Believe it or not, Jacksonville, we're noticing more and more scammers. I'm wondering if it's just because Jacksonville is a town, a city where the elderly live, a lot of retirees. I had an incident with family members who was outside of Publix in the parking lot. Someone walked up to them and was talking about selling them something. If you go take money out of your bank, then you can get this item. I couldn't remember exactly what it was, but it was intriguing, and you're gonna see a lot of that from folks calling, from folks texting, just a lot of different things. And I know it goes on everywhere in the United States, all over the world, but we notice it more and more here in Florida. So I'm just saying, just beware of different things. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. So just beware, especially for the elderly. Beware of folks knocking on your doors. You're gonna find a lot of door knockers. Highly recommend you get, one of those video doorbells, where you can see who's coming to the door, and just protect your family, elderly, to not open doors. Of course, kids don't need to be opening doors, but you're gonna find door knockers, people knocking on doors. They're dressed nice. They have on different uniforms. You never know who they are. So we see it all the time in our neighborhood. And sometimes the people are legit, just working hard, trying to do what they need to do, but then other times they're up to no good. So just beware. In 2022, we're seeing more and more of it. The way the economy is going and things, you just want to pay attention. So I just say in 2022, beware of that. Okay, number two is the home insurance issues here in Jacksonville and really in the state of Florida, but I'm going to speak specifically for Jacksonville. So what we're seeing is with the issues with roofers, it's been documented. There's a loophole in the insurance claims and things. And so a lot of roofers were taking advantage of that situation, not trying to knock on profession or anything, but there was issues with that. And so a lot of the carriers, insurance carriers, are moving out of Florida, just getting totally out of Florida. So you want to beware. If you have a roof that's older than the norm, just check with your insurance company before you buy that home. Just beware of that. My name is Artie. I'm a local realtor. Before I go further, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, check out some of my other videos regarding living in Jacksonville, Florida. Just love to have you back. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you've been supporting me for a while, I appreciate you more and more. But getting back to the insurance issue, one of my followers asked me to talk a little bit about that insurance. It's just something that you just need to be aware of. A lot of insurance carriers, like I said, are moving out of Florida, getting out of Florida. They're just losing money. So if you own a home here in Florida, just make sure that you have a good relationship with your insurance company, that you're staying abreast, you're staying up to date on what's going on. If you have any questions or comments about that, please let me know, because I work with a lot of insurance agents, insurance brokers, who can break this down even more so. In the future, I'll probably have them come on and talk specifically about this to give you more detail and specific information. But it's just something in 2022 you need to be very aware of. With the city moving into number 3, dealing with hurricanes in the state of Florida, that ties into a little bit of the insurance issues. So really, it's hurricane season. If you're from out of town, out of state, you're moving to Florida from another country, just know that hurricanes are real. The key thing, what I would say is, and whether this is in 2022 or any year in Florida, in the past, present, or future, just know that you'll be well aware of where the shelters are. They prepare you well. The news I gotta give the city of Jacksonville and the state of Florida, they definitely prepare you. You definitely know what needs to be done. The big issue with the hurricanes is a lot of folks don't want to leave their home, and I get it and I understand. I'm not going to try and tell anybody what to do, stay home or not, or that's up to you and your family. But sometimes what happens is folks try to ride it out, and then unfortunately sometimes they get into situations where they really need help. They're in an emergency situation.
Look at 4 feet of water, and I've been swimming forever.
We got her out of the house through all the wreckage, and she refused to go to a shelter. She said she'd kick and scream and fight the whole way. And because of our experiences in the last hurricane, when Irma came through, we got about 6 inches of water in her house and about a foot in mine. but that was nothing. So she thought it was going to be like the last time.
And I'm just so glad that he paid it.
And of course, the first responders, police, firemen, all those folks, they come out and they do everything they can to get them out of that situation. So that's the big thing here. I've seen it year in, year out. So just if you're moving to Jacksonville, moving to Florida, just know that it's hurricane season about this time. Be prepared. Just follow the news. Ask questions if you're a part of a neighborhood, community, subdivision. They usually have a Facebook page. I know where I live, they have a Facebook. They're talking about the hurricane. They're just letting you know who has water and different things like that. So this is just something that in Florida, in Jacksonville, that you just need to be aware of. Okay, number 4. Now this deals with a little bit of crime. Check out some other videos when I talk about some crime in Jacksonville and crime. So what we've been seeing lately in subdivisions, a lot of folks think, okay, in lower economic areas, okay, that's where all the crime is, or in drug infested areas. So what's happening is the criminals a lot of times are casing out subdivisions where there's no security guards or security gates, and when they feel comfortable. You could be in a nice neighborhood and there could be a drive-by, not random per se. They're looking for someone in that neighborhood, but we've had that. I've seen it right here in my community. They've had some strong arm robberies. We've seen an uptick in this, just a little bit, definitely out of the norm. So when you move to Jacksonville, don't assume because you're in a smooth neighborhood, a sweet neighborhood, I should say, upwardly mobile neighborhood, that everything's gonna be fine. And most people are aware of that, but just don't let your guard down. Pay attention, even in broad daylight. Don't assume anything. Looks like a duck, walks like a duck, talks like a duck. It's probably a duck, right? Just be wise, be smart. JSO, Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, they have a non-emergency number. Get friendly with that. I mean, not everything's gonna be emergency, but if you see something, just report it and just let JSO check it out. So that's something that, when you're moving to Jacksonville, just be aware of it. Don't, you don't have to be overly worried or anything like that, but just pay attention. Pay attention to your surroundings. So that's always a good thing to do. Always remember that, hey, Florida is a stand your ground state. So if you're carrying, do whatever, get brushed up on that. Do what you need to do to protect you and your family, and I don't have to tell you that. You know that. You're grown. Who am I to tell you anything? Just know that's what it is. Okay, so moving on to number 5. What I'm going to say is what I didn't notice is snakes. Even more so, I got on this little neighborhood app, and everybody's showing, well, what kind of snake is this? What kind of snake is that? Every now and then, recently found a little snake in my garage. Nothing to worry about. I got it out. I was able to get it out. Thank God. My wife doesn't like snakes, man. She said, look, if there's ever a snake in this house, I'm moving. We're selling the house. Boom. And then probably a day or two after, I found another snake in the driveway. I'm like, oh man, what's going on? It was dead. It was a small snake. But so you're going to see that in Florida. Sometimes you'll see more than others. So just beware when you go outside, when you're walking and stuff. Just be watchful. With the water rising and this time of year, weather changing, you just got to be aware. It's nothing new. I've said it in other videos, but just a good reminder. Watching the news the other day, and it was a city, it was actually in Orlando, but the water had risen and flooded, and all you see is the eyes and a gator going through. So in Jacksonville, definitely these ponds and these waterways, just know that there's gators out there. You don't feed them. The big thing is don't feed them. Just pay attention. Just to pay attention. I recommend don't go swimming in anything.
When do we swim?
We don't come here to swim.
Unless it's a pool. That's how I look at it. And some Floridians gonna be like, man, come on, man, you can go swimming in some different waterways. Yeah, the beach and other things. But, you just gotta be careful. You know what I'm saying? Just pay attention. So snakes and gators. Okay, number 6, major construction. Major construction is going on in the city of Jacksonville. Spoken about this many times in some other videos, but it's even more so. Even with the housing, with the commercial properties, with what's going on downtown and the growth that's going on downtown, but literally in all parts of the city, you're going to see growth. From the inner city to the suburbs to rural areas, you're seeing growth. You're seeing widening of roads. So with that means just driving a little slower, just taking your time when you drive, paying attention to the roadway. They're moving stuff around all the time, and you'll think a road's going one way and maybe going different. We've had major issues with wrong way drivers. It happens. So don't take anything for granted when you get behind that wheel. I'm not trying to be everybody's police or anything, but just pay attention, watch. And so in Florida, you have a lot of issues. And another thing along with the construction is with bikers, people who are biking and you're walking. don't assume people are gonna stop. A lot of times people are driving, they're trying to get to work, they're trying to hustle, whatever. Bikers are run off the road. Unfortunately, kids, you see it a lot. It's just folks in cars. A lot of times we just feel like we have the right of way, and always remember that the pedestrians have the right of way. Those bikers, should be respectful. So just be aware of that. Number 7, what I noticed, just to let you know, more and more gyms are popping up. Gyms are popping up everywhere. Franchise gyms, and that's a good thing. Hell, with Florida being as it is, with the beaches and different things in Jacksonville, you're gonna see a lot of different gyms. You're gonna see a lot of workout type camps, boot camps, and all these things. You're gonna see a lot of inquiries. People are gonna, ask you about it, to join a gym and memberships and all of this. So it's one of these places where you have a lot of gyms, and that's a good thing for you. But I just tell people, hey, look, that's what's going on. You'll see it in strip malls. You'll see it everywhere. Folks have their little, personal trainers, and I think it's everywhere. But it just seems like a little more so here in Florida. Going on to number 8, it's a kid-friendly city. If you have children, for kids, this Jacksonville is a great place to raise your kids. I raised my 3 kids here, grown up to be fine adults, thank God. So what I mean is, there's a lot of things to do for kids. A lot of the schools really try to have a lot of opportunities for the kids after school, either with sports, with a lot of clubs, a lot of the magnet schools, and just really all the public schools have a lot going on for the kids. There's a lot of things in different communities, that they have for kids. There's always something to do with swimming. There's always activities going on. Don't let anybody tell you any different. I've been here over 23 years. I've seen it with my own eyes. There's always something to do. It is a military town, so they have a lot of stuff for the military. You have the planes flying, they have that. They just have a lot of different events for kids and for families. So it's definitely, just know that one restaurant that you might like if you have young kids, we used to take our daughter to it all the time, is Chuck E. Cheese. Back in the day, they had great pizza. Shout out to them. But I don't know how many parties I went to at the Chuck E. Cheese. Y'all can relate. It's just that place where you go and the little kids have parties and stuff. So it's a lot of things for kids. A lot of activities, very kid friendly. A lot of the sports teams, you always see them promoting the kids with good grades, reading programs. I mean, there's a lot. There's tons to do. And with the diversity that's in Jacksonville, it just lends from all walks of life. You get different opportunities to see different things, different festivals, different concerts. By living in a major city like Jacksonville, you have access to musicals and a lot of things. And just remember, you're only 2.5 hours from Disney World. So if Jacksonville doesn't actually cut it, just know you're not far from Disney World. Jacksonville will give you enough to do with your kids. Trust me, believe that. And I met a lot of my friends through, my kids doing a lot of things, and plenty of churches, plenty of religious places as well to help facilitate the kids. And like I said, the schools are strong, a lot of clubs, a lot of things going on. So I just want to put that out there for folks. Okay, so number 9, as you know, I'm a real estate agent. If you don't know, I don't know, but I'm a realtor. I help buyers and sellers all the time. So it is becoming more and more a buyer's market. Homes that would sell really, really quick, they're staying on the market longer. And even if you're looking to rent, there's more opportunities for rentals. There's more opportunities to negotiate. I talked about this in a few videos back, but there's more opportunities to negotiate. It's becoming more of a buyer's market. I'm not saying it's totally a buyer's market, but there's a lot of opportunities out there. And not only for residential buyers, but for commercial. If you're looking to start your business, a lot of commercial opportunities. And then also there's strong rentals, a lot of investment properties that are in Jacksonville. I say this all the time, Jacksonville is one of the top areas to buy and invest in real estate. So saying there's a sorry dog that doesn't wag his own tail, right? By being in real estate, I'm in the perfect place. We'd love to help you out. If you're moving to the area, helping people all the time, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, so let's set up a Zoom. Moving on, lastly, this is one that, it's tough to swallow, but JEA, the electric company, is raising the prices. We don't know necessarily how much, but they announced that there's gonna be a price increase. They've tried in the past to keep it down as much as possible. So just know that your bill may go up, let's just say 5%. But one thing you can do to deal with that is, and I know one thing that worked for me and my family, what we did, we had folks from JEA come and do a energy assessment, just come in, they check the house out. This is free. They check the house out, they check, you know, the water, the plumbing, electrical, just looked around the house, walked around the outside and gave us tips. And for whatever reason, whatever they did, next thing I know, our bill went down maybe 5%, 10%. It was like, oh man, whatever they told us, whatever we did, it's been a while. So I recommend doing that when you move in here, even if with rentals, you know, just take that initiative to JA to come out. It may take a month for them to come out, or 2 weeks, depending on how backed up. Not everybody does it, but it's basically like an energy type assessment that they do, and it's free, you know, so that's just one thing to keep. So I have many, many more things I would love to tell you about when moving to Jacksonville, you know, what's going on to prepare you when moving here. Things are changing constantly. That's why I just be beating this horse to death, you know, about Jacksonville and what it's got going on. So you'll see me in some of these things. I'm saying some of the same things, but I'm trying to mix it up for you. But with that being said, if you have any questions, if you want to know anything about Jacksonville, write it in the comments. What out of these 10 resonated with you? The 10 things to know before moving to Jacksonville. Maybe some things you already knew. Maybe there's some things you'd like to see me add. I'm open to that. I'm gonna do better with answering your comments, but thanks again for listening in. Hope all is well. Don't forget to give me a call, shoot me a text, and send me that email. Hit that like button, subscribe, and check out some of my other videos with Jacksonville, Florida. Thank you so much. Have a great day.